Welcome back to Your Voice. We're going to take a step into a press conference and join Mr. Bill de Blasio, the NYC public advocate. We'll see what he and his supporters had to say.
Happy holidays. We are having a holiday special support group for Bill de Blasio, our next mayor of New York City.
I am backing Bill all the way. Bill de Blasio, from all of us in New York at this current moment, all the best.
We gathered here tonight to do a holiday special for our next mayor, Bill de Blasio, and wishing him good luck. And we are showing our support from the South Asian community.
We'll hear speeches from Mr. Sant Chatwal, Dr. Naveen Mehta, and Bill de Blasio himself.
We as the Indian community, I request everybody that please, we want to bring a mayor who works for the community, who believes in that ethnic community, who believes going a long way over there. Who could be better? Look at Bill and look at his beautiful wife.
When I was introduced to Bill in July by Pamji, and I was immediately fall in love of his grace, his wisdom, and his intellectual. He's one of the greatest men I have come across, and I'm telling you, I have come across many politicians, many saints, many gurus, and you name all of them. We say, we come across some people, and they leave the lasting impression on you, and that's the person you respect for the rest of your life. We see millions and millions of people in our life, but there are very few we can count every day. And Bill is on the top of my list. He will be running for the next mayoral race, and I'm sure he will be one of the best mayors we'll ever have. So let me welcome with all of you, our next mayor of New York City, 2012, Mr. de Blasio.
I want to talk for a moment about New York City, but before I want to talk about something more global, very essential. We sometimes, when you're in the middle of history being made, sometimes it's very difficult. Naturally, it's very difficult to understand the context we live in. We are in a moment of such global transformation. We're trying to keep up with it. We're trying to make sense of it. There are a few among us, entrepreneurs and people in government, who really understand and stay ahead of the curve, and Sant has been one of them. But it is very difficult when you're involved in public life, when you're involved in the political system, to understand the full ramifications of what's happening around us. But sometimes some of the strands become clear. The future of this world is, as it has always been, a competition between forces and trends and movements that believe in democracy, that believe in free speech, that believe in diversity, and those who think otherwise. This is the history of the world. It plays out in different ways in different times and places, but that central tension. We're either going to have human rights or we're not. We're going to have a truly democratic system or we're not. We're going to have the right to speak freely or we're not. And I think the United States, especially over the last 60 years, has played a crucial role in the forward progress of countries all over the globe. But in a more globalized system, the only way to continue that progress is in alliance. And there is one, literally one alliance that is the hinge for that future, and it is the relationship between the United States and India. It's abundantly clear. We all know what we've been through economically, and from my point of view, there is no greater responsibility of the government of New York City than to make sure that we have a full economic recovery and that we reach as many of our people as humanly possible. And in every part of this city government for a long time has been too much about Manhattan and not about 5 boroughs, too much about communities that are well established and not about our newer communities. By the way, if you want to know where jobs are being created in New York City, it is in businesses owned by immigrants. That's where the energy is, that's where the creativity is. The city government does not recognize that. I want to say it plainly. Sant told a story of what he went through years ago. He was trying to uplift this area, and the city government really didn't do a lot to help him, and he had to do it on his own. We can't, at this moment in our history, we can't leave our small businesses out there on their own. We can't leave our immigrant communities out there on our own. It's much more interdependent. And I think this time in history has taught us. Maybe it's made us a little more sober and a little more mature. But in the end, This city rises and falls by bringing all of our communities together, all of our boroughs together, and the city government has to reach a helping hand each and every time. We will fix this economy because New York City has so much. And I'll finish with this point. And it's something Bill Clinton used to say, and Sant will know it well. Bill Clinton used to say many times, there is nothing wrong with America that can't be fixed by what's right with America. I say for New York City even more, there is nothing wrong with New York City that can't be fixed by what's right with this beautiful city. Thank you.
I would love to thank Adresh from Global Stat Entertainment, Sahara One, the India Panorama, Chandrakant Pancholi from Overseas India Weekly, Rajiv Bambari. Thanks everyone. Please do enjoy the evening.
We'll now step onto the Upper East Side of New York City at Sotheby's Auction House, where a rare notebook that belonged to revered artist and writer Rabindranath Tagore is being auctioned off. Let's take a look. Tell us about the background of this notebook a little bit more and how it ended up here at Sotheby's.
Okay, the notebook has been in a private collection, a family that was very close to Tagore's family. They lived near one another, and the families knew one another since the late 1700s. And as time went on and the family expanded, there was one of the children in the family became good friends with Tagore and actually made a contribution to his university. And as a token of thanks, Tagore gave the notebook that he was currently working on to his friend. And the friend kept it, and it came to the United States, it came to North America in the 1950s, and it was put in a safe deposit box and just cherished. And with the 150th anniversary of the birth of Tagore and all the publicity surrounding that, and the fact that we sold paintings last year of Tagore's that did extremely well, I think the family thought the time was ripe to sell the notebook to kindred spirits.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask that as to when something like this that is so almost priceless has been within a family for so many generations, for so long, how do they then go about deciding, okay, I think it's time to see it go on?
I think they saw so much of the publicity about the Tagore paintings that we sold, and then all the incredible outpouring for the 150th anniversary of his birth, that I believe that the family thought that this was a time that would be right to sell this and for the people to really envelop Tagore. What's interesting here is to see the artistic, the little drawings. He almost doodles in his emendations. He uses both pencil and pen, and oftentimes he dates the particular poem. And these are all from the fall of 1920. I want to say 1928, and but it really just shows how he kind of wanders in his thinking too as he's doing all these emendations, which I find really interesting.
And now there's pen and also pencil, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean he used both. Yeah.
I guess that very much shows his, side thought.
Yeah, and comes back, and then coming back to it, coming back to the work and refining. So to see a work in progress like this always provides a lot more information for scholars, to see the writing process and the working mind.
Yeah, it seems very also just looking at the artist from a lot more of a personal level.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
A truly rare and priceless piece. We're going to take another short break here on Your Voice, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll see why one lady's desserts are so special.